Welcome to another edition of Sports. I'm sorry, the way I see it. Wow, I got my shows mixed up tonight. It's Monday night, not it's not Tuesday. It's Monday night. But anyway, welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. I am Ralph Williams. We're every Monday night at 7 p.m. Tonight's show is going to be very interesting because we're going to have a special tonight, and we have our usual segments, and we have some great topics to talk about tonight as well. Tomorrow night, it's going to be a special sports corner. I have Tad Maury coming on. Tad Maury is the color analyst for Duquesne football and basketball. So he's going to be on with me tomorrow. We're going to talk about Duquesne football. They recently lost their game Saturday to Florida State 47-7, but we're going to talk about the remainder of the season and what Keith Dambrof's up to with the basketball season. And, of course, tomorrow, Steeler Cut Day. We will find out exactly what the Steelers will be doing tomorrow for Cut Day. All right. Now, here we are. Today, my Ralph's rant. The first day of school has come. All over Western Pennsylvania. Some schools went back to school today. Others go back during the what they call the so-called, they call it the so-called after Labor Day, they go back to school. But most schools have gone back today. Lack of teachers, lack of school buses, and security lack as well. All right. And that's a real sad situation there, is the fact that why is the schools having lack of these three things? Well, first of all, nobody wants to be a teacher. Nobody wants to be a bus driver. And nobody wants to work security. So guess what? Nobody wants to work, period. Isn't that an interesting scenario right there, that nobody really wants to work at all? And that's sad. That's a real sad situation. It really is. Okay? And I don't like it either. But what are you going to do? All right? We're going to find out what the school districts do this year, how they improvise. And tonight, that's my Ralph's rant. All right, next. Next is our Chinese wisdom, and it's follow your heart, and you will find happiness. That is tonight's Chinese wisdom. And you know what? I'm going to do this today because this morning on the new KDKA morning show on KDKA radio this morning, they had Marty Griffin on, and he's on now with Larry Richard on, starting on Monday mornings, and I'm not trying to promote them. I'm just, and they had Oakmont Bakery, and they had Chick-fil-A, and they had all these people bringing things. Well, guess who brought me food tonight? Number One Kitchen. Number One Kitchen brought me food tonight. Yeah, Number One Kitchen. From over now the Carrick Shopping Center there next to the shopping center. They brought me food tonight for the show. So there you go. Number One Kitchen. All right. How do you like that one? Okay. All right. Our next is our blast, brought to you by Robin Campbell Insurance, 412-366-3399. Robin Campbell Insurance. He has all your insurance needs. Farmers Insurance is what is his. He works for or he has an agency through Farmers, and he can provide you with the best insurance all around. And he's real good at it. And he will actually come to your house and talk it over with you if that's what you need for him to do. Okay. Robin's very thorough. He's been in this business a long time. This is my second go around with him. I've been with him in the past. Okay. But I'm back with him again. And I tell you what, Robin Campbell, he does insurance like you wouldn't believe. Fire, rental, life insurance, house, or whatever whatever kind of insurance you need, auto insurance. Okay. Call Robin today, 412-366-3399 is the number to call. All right. My blast today is with City Council. All right. Because this is one of my I was right part of the special tonight. You have a deer problem, and you're just finally acknowledging that you have a deer problem. Isn't that amazing? Finally, you acknowledge the fact that there's a deer problem. And it took people from Shenley Park who live in that area, Squirrel Hill, places like that, okay, to really make that happen. All right. And here we are. Okay. Here we are, folks. All right. Now you have a deer problem. And guess what? City council ignored it. I went down, I spoke at city council. I made suggestions, which we'll talk about later on, because I was right. We have a deer problem in the city of Pittsburgh. And again, nobody believed me. Nobody pays attention to this. Nobody looked at this. Nobody. But here we are with the deer problem. That's the way I see it tonight. Next, the Republican State House. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. You know why? Because our dictator, Tom Wolf, and I don't think I have to explain why I call him a dictator, because, he kind of sort of is, a dictator, but, he's really not. Okay. But I call him a dictator because I didn't appreciate what he did during COVID. Okay. But I know everybody else did, but no one else appreciates I don't appreciate what he did during COVID. And what's sad about it is nobody did anything about it. Okay. And this is another thing we're going to talk about later on, personal freedoms. But getting back to this, the Republican State House will not let Tom Wolf pass legislation to give everybody, every household $2,000 a month. What planet are you living on? We have a problem here, everybody. We have a real bad problem. And that problem is this. Okay? That problem is that we have an inflation problem. Yes, we have an inflation problem. We have problems paying for gas, paying rent, okay, and everything else. And this Republican Party doesn't want to give a $2,000 a month. And it's not like it's coming out of their pockets. It isn't. It's not coming out of their pockets at all. All right? None whatsoever. All right? And that is what's going on tonight. And that is the way I see it tonight. All right. Next. The state food stamp outage yesterday. Shame on you again, the state. Why? Because you had a food stamp outage. Okay? And what happened was you didn't communicate it with you did not communicate it with anybody in the state. You had to go to the store to find out what was going on. You had to go to the store. That is terrible. You should not have had to go to the store to find out what was going on with the food stamps. Oh, you'll come on the news real quick about everything else, but you won't do anything about that. So why wouldn't you come on and say that the EPT food stamp system doesn't work? All right. Yesterday, it didn't work. How? Because my mother had to go shopping yesterday. And guess what? She couldn't use her EPT card because it wasn't working. Was it on the news? No. Was it on the bottom of the little ticker tape thing there? No. But you'll put stupid stuff on the bottom of the ticker tape. But the state couldn't go to the news people and say, look, the EPT system's down. Oh, no one knew about it, right? So does all the stores get caught off guard? Oh, well, you know what? That's what the state says. And that's what I say. All right. That's the way I see it. All right. That's my blast segment for tonight. Next, we're going to get into our Bonehead segment. Our Bonehead segment here is brought to you by DJ Fun. DJ Fun is a great DJ. Call him today, 412-545-4317. And DJ Fun has some great, he does some great things. He also is a great DJ that really does real good for parties. He'll DJ your wedding, special event, anything. But call DJ Fun today, 412-545-4317. Give him a call if you need a DJ. And you know what's nice about DJ Fun? He will not take you to the cleaners. That means he won't charge you all kinds of money. You have DJs out there today, they're charging thousands and thousands of dollars, not DJ Fun. All right. And that was that's our sponsor for tonight's Bonehead. 2 Air France pilots, listen to this one, that decide to have a fight in the cockpit. Can you believe that? They decide to have a fight in the cockpit. What a wonderful world. That's one of our Bonehead. Our next one is the lady at Starlake Amphitheater, who decided to drive her car through a crowd in rage because she was frustrated because somebody picked on her while she was inside the amphitheater. Okay. And I guess nobody did anything about it. So what happened was, since that was the situation, they all decided they would, well, you know what, screw it, who cares? You know, I'm just going to drive through the way I am, and that's it. All right. Next, lady who got kicked off Alaskan Airlines for wearing an inappropriate outfit. What is going on here? Why are we acting so ridiculous on these airplanes? I understand you have to wait a long time, or there's a big problem, or somebody, you know, or the airline did this to you, or the airline did that to you, but don't make things so bad that now this lady, she got kicked off for wearing inappropriate clothing. What, you want to come on there and look like a model or a strip model or whatever? You're riding on an airplane with 1,000 other people. Well, that tonight is the way I see it with our Bonehead tonight. All right. All right. Next, we're going to get into our life story. This week, my life story, I didn't do really a whole lot this week. It was kind of hot out. We were supposed to go down to I was supposed to go down to PCTV this week and tape myself and Smoking Jim Frazier, who's my co-host on Sports Corner on PCTV. Supposed to go down and we were going to tape the Talking Wrestling show. Well, it turns out that Smoking Jim had a death in the family, so we couldn't do that. So Thursday, I still did my Wrestle Talk on Blog Talk Radio. As you know, we have that going on. And so, you know, it was an interesting week. But I got to tell you, went down to go and get my driver's license renewed. I had to get a new picture. My wife had to get a change of address, and my mom had to get her ID taken. So all 3 of us had to get something done at the driver's licensing center. We went to the one in Bridgeville, and I got to tell you what, man, you get down there, the floors are so clean you could eat off of them. That's how clean the floors are. In the state, they've really done an excellent job of this, and the people were nice down there. I've gone to the one downtown or whatever. Maybe it's just working at that one. Okay. Maybe that's what the problem is. It's just working at that one, you know, that certain driver's licensing center. I've been inside the one in East Liberty, but I've never been to there. I had to go there once to get my license plate, my new license plate for a car I bought, and some notarizing and stuff. That was many years ago. I haven't been in there in a while. I don't know what they do there. And they have one out in Penn Hills and one out in Glen Shaw and one out in some other areas, okay, or McCandless or whatever they call it out there by Ferguson Road, okay. That's where some of the driver's licensing centers are. And some of them, they do tests, and others, they just do IDs, okay. This Bridgeville one is beautiful, and let me explain why. The reason it's so beautiful is because it's in the back of that old theater that used to be down there. I forget what it was called, Distintus. That's what it was. It was Distintus. And then it was 2 or 3 other names after that. And it was a big, huge movie theater down there. Well, now that theater is gone, and they have the back portion of it there. And and it's beautiful. I mean, it's huge. It's big. They have separate sections. Like you go to one side to get your license and your picture, if you're doing that. Then you go to the one area if you're getting a change of address. Then you go to the other area if you're getting your license or your ID. Okay, they have different areas for different things. Huge set of computers set up for your permit test. Very pleased with that. Well, Tuesday, I had to go down to the Kangaroo Court downtown, which is the municipal court on First Avenue. Okay. As you know, I've had issues in this building I live in because the housing authority don't want to take responsibility of the city of Pittsburgh, don't want to take responsibility for anything in their building. They own the building, but they don't want to take any responsibility for anything. All right. So this is an ongoing situation. I have a woman in here who stole some packages from me. She got caught on camera. I filed charges with the police department. Had to go through 4 hearings, finally get to the 4th one here, and she's agreed to pay the restitution. So I went to the hearing, got the paperwork for housing, so housing can have her evicted. Well, here come to find out, the charges of theft by unlawful taking were dropped. Okay, and that, well, she was charged with disorderly conduct. Okay, but the theft charge, and it didn't indicate anywhere on there that she was guilty of anything. So now the housing authority, in her infinite wisdom, and you know how this is, they're afraid to evict somebody. They just simply didn't even bother to even try to evict this woman, because I know she's going to do it again. All right. And here's where we are. All right. Now we're going to get back to this now. Marty Griffin and Larry Richert. I've been reaching out to Marty Griffin. Get Marty. I'll help you with anything you need help with. Okay. Well, Marty hasn't returned my emails and my phone calls, and he's a lucky guy, because last week, before he decided to, the station decided to move him to Larry Richert's show on Monday, started today. All right. So he was on Facebook going on and on about this, that, and whatever. And I said, hey, Marty, I need your help, man. You don't return my phone calls and my email. So you know what? And I get this every time, no matter what it is, whether it's about Todd Joseph, whether it's about people not working, whether it's about somebody's going to make a comment. I don't really care on Facebook what kind of comments you make, because I really do not care at this point. Okay. So, then, they end up doing that. And then what happens is, okay, they end up sometimes making me angry. And I don't get angry anymore. I just get even. All right. But here's the thing that really bothers me about Marty Griffin. He gets on the radio and he goes on and on and on about how he helps people. Well, why won't you help me with my problem? And I think some of you might have a pretty good idea what the problem is I need him to help me with. Tim Stevens hasn't returned my phone calls. Okay. Ricky Burgess hasn't returned my phone calls. City councilman from Homewood. What? I don't live in Homewood, so you don't want to return my call? Okay. The mayor's office. I'm getting the complete runaround about doing something about this housing authority of the city of Pittsburgh. I call the investigative reporter for Channel 4, and he asks me 600 questions. Okay? Why don't you sit there, my friend, and listen to what I have to say before you ask me 600 questions? Okay? So here we are. I'm still trying to find help to fight the housing authority of the city of Pittsburgh. Nobody's stepping up. Nobody's returning my phone calls. Okay? And trust me when I tell you this, everybody, I didn't want this way. Housing made me go this way. Okay? They made me do this. All right? A few shows back, I had indicated to you, if you watched, you can watch the archive version of it. All right? Well, I want to go to a ribbon cutting ceremony for East Liberty Family Healthcare System up here in Lincoln. The old Leamington home. Those of you who are familiar with that. Out there off of Lincoln Avenue. All right. So I get to the ribbon cutting, the mayor's there, Richie Fitz is there. I talk to everybody because I'm part of the Allegheny County Transit Council. So obviously everybody knows who I am. But I was there also because I was part of what once was the Patient Advisory Council for East Liberty Family Healthcare. I got that phone call last week that our council is no longer together and that East Liberty Family Healthcare is restructuring. So I got that phone call this last week. Okay. So we get back to this. I go to this ribbon cutting ceremony about a month or so ago. All right. And Castor Binion is there, the CEO of the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh. I go up to him. I said, Mr. Binion, how are you? And he shook hands with me. And I says, do you know who I am? He said, no. I said, well, my name is Ralph Williams. You should know who I am because my wife and I have called your office many times. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know who you are. I said, well, then that's great. I'm glad. So I start explaining to him about what's going on in this building and what he needs to clean up and some things that'll make things livable better. And to explain a few things, he brushed me off and he said, well, I can get you an application and maybe push it through if you want to get into this new building. And that's his exact words. Okay. So I have no reason to stretch a story or lie because I'm a deacon in my church. Okay. So here this guy does this. This is the CEO of the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh. But I can't get any help from anybody, from Marty Griffin, from Tim Stevens. And the reason I'm going to talk to Tim Stevens is because he was recently involved in a situation where Northview Heights had a whole bunch of problems. Oh, the news stepped up for that. Okay. The news stepped up for that. All right. Bobby Wilson or Harris or whatever it was there and all that. And I've told you this story many times. So, Tim, you can't help me? Ricky Burgess, you're on the board of the Housing Authority. You won't talk to me? What is this? What, everybody? Michelle Gainey is on there too, Ed Gainey's wife. And I'm sorry, Ed, I like you. You're my friend. But you know what? I got to do something here. Somebody's got to help me here. And if it takes doing this on this show, that's what I'm going to do. So now I got a thief living in the building that's still here, that housing won't take responsibility to do anything about it. All right? Nothing. Okay? My hands are tied. I can't get anybody to help out. They get complaints downtown. They don't care at the offices there. All right, that was my life story and some other for this week. All right, something to think about this week. All right. You ever see someone in the checkout line who just leaves and go their groceries in front of you there and walks away and goes into the store because they forgot something? And you have to wait there for them to come back. And get this, the clerk, the manager, nobody says anything about that at the store. Okay, nothing. They don't say a word. Not a thing. All right. So I want to give you something to think about. If you're somebody that does that, how would you like it if somebody did that to you? If you're standing in line at the grocery store, don't you hate that? I don't like it. Okay. And I wouldn't want it, but I'm tired of it. And people will do that to you. Okay. And that's ridiculous. The clerk should tell them to just leave, move over and get out of the way. All right. Or the manager should come up and say, hey, you can't do that. But the managers are too busy in the back room doing whatever. Okay. But they're not going to do that. All right. So that's just something to think about for tonight here on The Way I See It. All right. We're going to get into some stuff tonight. I have some key topics and I have some other regular topics to talk about and a few other things of note here on The Way I See It. We're here in Studio B tonight at Studios 808. We're doing some stuff with Studio A. So Studio B is where we have been the last few weeks. And we're here tonight again here in Studio B. All right. So here we are. All right. Our key topics tonight. Let's talk about this story. And I can't get anybody on to give me any information, or you or anybody on this program. Brian Englert, the president of the Union for the Jail Guards, I've tried numerous times to get him on here, and I can't. Okay, I can't get Bethany Hallam on here, and she's a county councilwoman, and she's part of the jail's board. I can't get her on here. And no way am I going to try to call the jail to get the warden on here. Because nobody, it seems like, and that's why I call myself Pittsburgh's forgotten son. You know, I've lived in this town my whole life. I have this show here. Why am I not important as everybody else? Why? Because I'm not on TV? That's not my fault. I am on TV. I'm not on none of the nation stations or nothing at this moment, but I am on TV. I'm on PCTV. Okay? I'm not on the regular radio here. I'm on Blog Talk Radio, National Wrestling Show. Okay? I'm on at 10:30 on Wednesday nights, starting back up again September 1st, which happens to be this Wednesday, 10:30. Peter Blake, the Sports Web. 10:30 is the Turnbuckle Talk Wrestling Show. Myself, Mark Mancini, Peter Blake. Peter's from Tampa, Florida. National program live on YouTube. Okay? This show is national. All right? But you won't come on. You will not come on this program and talk to me. All right? I can't get the reporter from the city paper or the Post-Gazette to come on here. But here's what's going on at the county jail. All right? You have the warden now who's angry with Brian Englert, who happens to be the union boss for the guards. Okay? He's angry with him because he made some statements, and he claims that the statements he made were not the appropriate statements. All right. Orlando Harper, who happens to be the warden down there, and he's obviously, from what I'm hearing from both Brian Englert, partially emailed with, and what I read, that there's some friction going on down there between him and the guards, which of course happens all the time because that's just the way it is. Okay. So, I mean, here we are. There's this friction that goes on between all these people. All right. And of course, nothing gets done at the jail. All right. And the jail is the way it is. All right. Well, Brian Englert claims the working conditions were bad. He's gotten on WESA radio. He has been on some other media outlets to talk about it. Well, of course, Orlando Harper didn't like it. He said it was false. And so he didn't like it. And he didn't appreciate it. That's too bad, Orlando. Do your job. All right. If you're not doing your job, do it then. Do it the right way. Do it right. Do it, work with the union. Work with the guards. Quit making things inconvenient for people. This is why people don't want to work. Some of it is laziness, and I have preached about that. But when I'm out and about, and I've seen the attitude of workers too, it has to do with a lot of things. And I'm hearing stories now that it has to do with the employers. They're so angry about what happened with COVID, which you could have done something about and you didn't. Okay? You put yourself in this situation. All right? So I'm hearing all this and that about how, my business is this, my business is that. And this is a prime example of an employer who wants to treat his employees like garbage. Look at Starbucks firing managers for starting up a union. Look at Starbucks. They're upset because their employees decided to start a union. All right. Which goes on all the time. Okay. It goes on across the country because people don't want unions. They don't want to work with unions, some of these employers. But you cannot stop somebody or fire somebody who attempts to start a union. Okay? Or wants to. Coffee Tree Roasters did the same thing. And you know what? Good for them. I'm really, really happy for them. I'm glad they did it. I'm happy that they went ahead and did that because there's nothing wrong with unions if they work for you. All right? Because sometimes unions don't work at all for anybody. Okay? So that's where we are today with this. It's tit for tat with the jail. And again, I don't know what the union stance is on this. Okay? Because I can't get Brian Englert on my program. All right? So there we are. Coming up in September, I have a couple new shows coming on here on YouTube and Facebook. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, Talking Wrestling, podcast version coming on. Okay. 7 p.m. We start next Wednesday. All right. Not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, right after Labor Day. All right. That's when we start. 7:30, right here live on YouTube and Facebook, Talking Wrestling. Next, I'm going to be doing a very special show, which will be coming up soon. It's going to be called Ralph Williams One-on-One. And I'm going to be doing one-on-one interviews. And this is not a steady show. There's no steady time for this. I will be doing shows and I will be posting them on YouTube called Ralph Williams One-on-One. I'll be doing one-on-one interviews with people because some people don't have the schedule to come on my show at this time. So I have to do pre-recorded shows with people. So why not call it Ralph Williams One-on-One or the way I see it special? And that's what we're going to do. Okay. And that's coming up too at various times of the day. All right. So keep posted here and on my Facebook page, Ralph Williams as well, Twitter and Wimkin. Okay. And don't forget to subscribe to my Facebook page here. Or I'm sorry, my YouTube page, and don't forget to like my Facebook page. That's the way I see it tonight about the county jail. Next, the city finally coming up with a plan to deal with the homeless. Again, here we are. The city knew there was a homeless problem, and they didn't do anything about it. Now they are, because you know why? I said this before, and I'll say it again. We had all these activities going on where we had people from out of town come in, and they said our city was a disgrace. Homeless tents all over the place. It looked disgusting, dirty, everything downtown. Okay. Now, one of my fellow competitors on the radio, gentleman who I don't know what happened to him, but he thinks he's that he can. Never mind. I'm not even going to talk about it. But he knows who he is. Okay. And I'm not going to talk about it again because I just don't feel like it. Anyway, he said that Mayor Ed Gainey is not focusing on downtown. He's focusing on the neighborhoods. Okay. You want to focus on the neighborhoods, Mayor Gainey, you have to focus on downtown as well. Because if you focus on downtown, then you can go into your neighborhoods. All right. Downtown is a mess. Okay. Now they're selling off the golf tower and moving all those businesses out of there. And they're supposed to be making that into a condo or another one of them expensive boutique hotels that no one can afford. Okay. I don't know why you're building buildings downtown or real estate to live downtown. There's nothing there. Why? What's the why? Why do you continue to think that you can build downtown? Now, Mayor Gainey has an idea for some affordable housing downtown. Finally, some kind of affordable housing downtown. All right. And now the city council has come up with a proposal that they sent to the mayor to do something about homeless. You want to do something about homeless? I'll tell you what you do. And I've said this a few shows ago. You get a homeless czar, get somebody to work that works for the city. And I know you got to pay him a salary now. And this guy goes around and he patrols and controls the homeless. They have it in Raleigh, North Carolina. They have it in Los Angeles, and it works. Okay, it works in both ways. All right. So there we are. Hello, Kim. Hello, Joe. All right. But anyway, here we are with a homeless situation. And finally, the city says, well, I'm going to take care of it. Really? You wait this long to take care of a homeless situation. That's the way I see it. The city police. Let me ask you this. And, the city police, I've kind of had a 50-50 situations over the years with the city police. And lately, it's been kind of tough. Okay. It has really been kind of tough. And the reason I say that is because, all right, I've try to get the police to do a few things. Like we have this guy who lives in the building here. He's a nuisance, rides around in a loud motorcycle, and he revs it outside, makes all kinds of noise, keeps people awake at odd hours of the night. I try to get his bike removed. I can't. He drives around with no insurance. All I hear is, well, it has to be a traffic stop. Okay. We have illegally parked vehicles in front of our building's driveway, parked right in front of the entrance, right there on the street. City police, they walk right by, going back to the station from the breakfast joint. And you know what I get from them? Oh, but that's parking's problem. We can't do nothing about that. I've had some issues over the years, and I've come to the conclusion that as of right now, the city police are lazy. They don't want to do any more than they have to. Okay. And I'm not saying they're all bad. They're not. But there's a majority of them out there, and I don't know if it's the zone itself or if it's just the morale of the police department. But whatever it is, the mayor has to fix it. Because if you don't fix it, it's going to continue to be broken. And right now, our police department is broken here in Pittsburgh. All right. And everybody has to understand that we're in this kind of a situation right now with this. All right. And that's what's going on. Our city is in a bad situation. We have a new chief. They're still looking for a new chief. I haven't found one yet. So what's going to happen? Are we going to have a chief that's going to come from some small town where there was never any crime? Okay. Are we going to have a chief that's afraid to have any kind of guts to do something about the crime in this town? Okay. You know, I don't have no problem with cops walking the beat. I don't have no problem at all with the police department, none whatsoever, who fight crime and do their job. And you let them do their job. Okay. All right. But here we are. We have the Citizens Review Board lady that comes on all the time about these 12 cops who didn't qualify for shooting. Okay. All right. I just found out from a source of mine that Tom Stangrick, he doesn't want to be the chief because he's getting ready to retire. So who are you going to bring in? Who, where, what? Bring somebody from Alaska where they have a village of 30 people. And there was the police chief, and all you see is animals and some people, not a lot. Okay. Who's the city looking at right now? It's been kept hush hush. No one knows. Okay. I haven't even heard about any interviews. Oh my. Wow. They better get it done fast. This city, the city council and the mayor need to stop tying the police hands and let them do their job. Walk the beat, start giving out traffic tickets, you know what? You got Ricky Burgess complaining about the pulling people over. Why? So they can commit more of a crime? Do you know the crimes code, Ricky Burgess? Do you know the traffic code? What, you want somebody riding around with tinted windows with gangbangers in them? They can just shoot them up? Is that what you want? Yeah, Ricky Burgess, because you don't want to pull anybody over for a traffic stop. Okay? Oh, we have a problem here. We can't do that. No. Why? Because that's offending somebody. It's the way I see it tonight. All right. All right. Next, Jack Shea. Sad to hear former president of the Allegheny County Labor Council, Jack Shea, passed away today. Really sad to hear about that. So, I mean, it was really sad to hear that he passed on, and my condolences to his family. All right. Personal freedoms. Oh my. Today I was listening to the competition just to see what their new lineup looked like today. And Paul Zeiss from KDK Radio, he got on and he started talking about personal freedoms, which of course a lot of people talk about anyway. But here's a question I have for Paul and I have for everybody here. You complain because, oh, the government's not going to tell me I got to go out and get shots. They're not going to tell me what to do. Okay. All right. Okay. There we are. Right there, you're saying your personal freedoms are going bye-byes. Okay. Then you say you don't want the government to tell you what to do, tell you how to lead your life, tell you how to just work with your family. And that's what he claims that the government is doing. Well, in New York, apparently, according to what he says today, they're stopping the sale to underage kids of the whipped cream in the aerosol kind of dispenser. You have to show ID in a New York grocery store to buy whipped cream in an aerosol dispenser. Because supposedly, I guess the kids now, because the parents don't watch what their kids do, which of course is, again, a serious problem in this country, but we're going to take away their personal freedoms because they're snorting whatever that gas is that's in the whipped cream that New York has problems with, okay? All right? Yeah, take away their personal freedoms if they're going to do that. Paul, okay? All right? Take away their personal freedoms. Why not? Why don't we? Okay? We have to take away their personal freedoms because of what they do, kids. Okay? And I got all these people that are telling me about personal freedoms. Oh, you have no right to call people lazy because I have a right to sit at home. This is a free country. I could sit at home and play my Xbox. I never said you couldn't. I just said you're lazy. Okay? All right? And you're the type of person that's taking this country down. Folks like this who get angry and angry about their personal freedoms. What is so wrong? Do you have a home to live in? Yes. Do you have a car to drive? Yes. Are you allowed to go out of your house and go to the grocery store or go wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do primarily? Yes. So explain to me where personal freedoms. Oh, wait a minute. Where was all these personal freedom people when businesses had to shut down because a dictator named Tom Wolf decides he's going to go and he is going to open up or close up all the businesses because of COVID. Because of COVID. Okay? Where were you? But now, since you need to go out and get shots to stop COVID from this dictator who's doing this, I don't want the government telling me what to do. And so on and so forth. And every time I turn around, everybody's barking wolf because their personal freedoms are being taken away. You have a right to talk on the phone. You have a right to buy cable TV. You have a right to anything. You have a right to justice. You have a right to an attorney. And if you can't afford one will be appointed to you? So where is your personal freedoms being taken away? I want to know. You can live and go anywhere you want in this country. Okay, this is where I get angry, because I can't figure out where everybody is complaining about their personal freedoms. Go to some other country and live there and see what kind of personal freedoms you have. Okay? The government's not going to tell me. I gotta do this and that. Okay, there are some things like abortion. Okay, you got all the women running around, oh, I can't get an abortion. It's my body. Okay, but then you're going to protest death. Death of a fetus, death of body, death. And you're going to go out and protest about death. But you don't see the results here of this. You won't go out and buy condoms so when you and your partner have sex, you won't go get birth control so that you don't have this problem. Okay? but you'll protest death. Really? Oh, you're taking away from my Constitution and my personal freedoms. It's your personal freedom to kill a baby because you wanted to have unprotected sex. That's a big personal freedom. Yeah, go on and have unprotected sex. But don't kill a baby over it. That's death. That's murder. Okay? Don't you see that? It's the way I see it tonight about personal freedoms because I'm tired of hearing about it. All right. Tonight, we have a very special thing we're going to do here tonight. And you know why? I love every minute of this. I really do. Okay? And the reason why I love every minute of this is because I was right. Okay? I was right. And here's what I was right about. Pittsburgh Public School Superintendent. Didn't I say to hire Wayne Walters? And they didn't. I was right. The way they did it was wrong. They went out and they spent $200,000 to go look for 30 other candidates when they had the man right there. And I said it, and I was right. I was right about deer in the city, which we talked about earlier. I was right about the homelessness in the city. Even went down and spoke at city council about the deer problem. Okay? It took this long for these two things to come up. This long. You want to know what my solution to the deer thing is? It's simple. You bait the park. You get the state game commission to come in, and you bait the parks for 1 weekend. You close the city park down. Now, come on, guys. People in Squirrel Hill can go in Frick Park and wherever else you are can go jog or go do whatever you got to do somewhere else for that weekend. Okay, close the park down, bait the park up, get the deer into the park, get some bow and arrow, people with hunting licenses. Okay, all right. Now, take the deer, have it smoked, whatever it is they do with deer, process it. Take the meat, donate it to the food bank. Okay, here, donate it to the food bank, donate it to the homeless shelters, donate it to the jail. Okay, that'll save on food costs down at the jail. And not only that, you're helping the homeless shelter, soup kitchen. 4 things that you could do with the meat of that deer. Okay, and I'm sure that there's plenty of deer. Maybe, Stanton Heights is infected with deer, and I don't even want to talk about that. Bait up Allegheny Cemetery, make an arrangement with them, give them a couple bucks, close the cemetery for a couple of days, and go in there and get them. Okay? You could take the fur from the deer, and you could take the horns, you could take the heads, you can mount the heads, and you can sell them and give the money to charity. It's a win-win situation here. All right? A win-win. Our city is infested with deer, and I was right on that. Okay, next. The next thing I was right about was the Great Resignation. Everybody said I was wrong about the Great Resignation. Remember that? Well, I was right. Because now everybody is going on and on and on about how they did the Great Resignation and it failed. Why? Because they quit their job and then they went ahead and did their another job, okay, and then thought, well, that other job is better, or I could take off for 6 months or a year, or I could go and because I got all this money from unemployment that I collected during COVID. I don't need to work for this guy or these people. No, I don't like my job. I've been here for 6 years and I hate my boss. Then they go somewhere else and find out the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And guess what? Now they don't have a job. Now they can't go on vacation. Now they have a problem. And I was right again. Wasn't going to work. And it's not working. It didn't work. All right. I was right about our current society. We're lazy. Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody. All everybody wants to do is pass the buck. And I was right again. Ah, don't you just love it? I love every single minute of it.
Awesome!
That's right. It is awesome that I was right about everything. Yeah, that's right. I was right. Next thing I was right about. I was right that there was good paying jobs out here and nobody wants them. I was right about that too. And they're still there and nobody wants them. I was right about that. Okay. Next. Conneaut Lake Park. I was right about that too. I said the new owner Todd Joseph is an idiot, and I was right. He's an idiot. Look at what he's doing to the park up there. And get this, nobody's doing anything about it. And then you get these detractors, these people who don't want to hear, he's crying about Conneaut Lake Park. Well, instead of crying about it, do something about it. And then those people will go away. Oh, it's his business. He can do whatever he wants. Yeah, it's his business, but there's a culture up at Conneaut. There's a big culture up there at Conneaut Lake Park. Okay? A huge culture. Everybody was used to the family amusement park setting along the lake. And now Todd Joseph has turned it into some kind of whatever kind of playground. I heard there's nothing but drunks up there. He has these tractor pulls and bands that nobody heard of. Okay. And it's no longer really an amusement park. It's a joke. It's a complete, just a complete joke.
Awesome!
Yeah, really. All right. But what made it was the people of Conneaut Lake Park were not doing anything about it. Okay. The bankruptcy judge who said that nothing could be done about him violating an order, a bankruptcy order. What was that judge thinking? Okay. Nobody did anything about it. Nothing. See, that's my theme for this year, everybody, was nothing. And I was right about that too. So that tonight is the way I see it about nothing and everything else that I was right about this year. You have to admit.
Awesome!
It was. All right, we have some other topics we can talk about. How about Uvalde, Texas? How about that school district firing their chief? That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, fired their chief, the school police chief. And I don't blame them. Look what happened down there. That's a shame. The security didn't do their job. And you know what? Security is scarce in our schools. I'm working on trying to get a security expert on here to tell me what is security? Okay. What is security? What kind of security should we have in schools? I think you should have people walking around with guns. You need them. Kids are psychos. Teachers should be allowed to carry a weapon in the school to protect themselves. Do what it takes to make it safe. Quit time. Oh, we got to come up with some programs for detention. Find these parents, put them in court, put them in jail if their kid's not being behaved. What happened to that? All right. One other thing I want to talk about tonight. There's judges out here, and I found this out recently. Juvenile judges who are putting kids back out, dangerous kids back out on the street because there's no room in the facilities all across the state. And the county still doesn't have a youth facility. Why? What happened to Schumann Center? I would love to know that. I really would. I would love to know. Reach out to me on my email, ralphwilliams737@gmail.com. If you were an employee at Schumann Center, what happened? Where's Amy Downs at here? I'd like to find out what happened at Schumann Center that these judges have to put these kids out on the street. Now, the jail, the county jail, says they have 400 beds available. They can put, I think they said 2,000 inmates in there without it being overcrowded because that's how many bunks there are, I guess, or whatever, beds, cells, whatever. They're talking about downsizing the jail in the next 2 to 3 years because they're claiming they want to come up with all these programs to keep people out of jail. Because I guess it's becoming too expensive to house prisoners, to have employees working, and then you have to deal with, like the Orlando Harper, Brian Engler thing. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? All right? So here we are with this now. This is what the county wants to do. So you have 400 beds available. Why not put those kids in that separate section where you have an additional 400 beds and put them in there? No, we're going to put them out on the street because we have overcrowded facilities all across the state. And whose fault is that? Rich Fitzgerald and the county administrator or whatever he's called, okay, for closing down Schumann Center and not doing something about it. All right? And this all boils down to security. It all boils down to the city, security of the city, and the residents of the city of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. We're going to let these obnoxious, violent kids whose parents didn't seem to care about what they're doing with their kids, who the law enforcement didn't do anything about or refused to do anything about or just don't want to do anything about it. Okay? Then we have the legal system complaining because they have to put people, or they have to release these kids because there is no more space in any of their state facilities because Allegheny County was stupid enough to close up Schumann Center. And instead of making it, I guess they had to have some kind of credentials or licensing. Instead of working with Schumann Center, they closed it up. Instead of finding another spot and building a bigger place and putting these kids in this jail and making it more secure, okay? Instead, we just put them back on the street. And that's why we have the problems we have today. That is why. That is where all this is at. All right? That's the way I see it tonight about that. Some final topics to talk about tonight real quick. The space flight was delayed today. Hasn't been one for a while. It was getting ready to go up in the sky and it delayed. That's the way I see it tonight. City held a bunch of community cookouts. They canceled them last weekend because of rain. This weekend, they had them everywhere in the south, the west, the north, and the east. All right. Mayor Gainey was there. A bunch of people were. There was one down here on the south side that I missed, but that's fine. That's the way I see it. Biden is coming to visit Pittsburgh during Labor Day. Okay. Coming to visit Pittsburgh. Last time he was here, the 9 Mile Run bridge collapsed. All right. So there we are with that, and that's the way I see it tonight. My closing rant is this. You have all these politicians out here now fighting, because there's going to be an election coming up in November. We have to elect a new governor, and that's between Mastriano, okay, and Josh Shapiro. Then you got John Fetterman going up against Doc Oz. All right. Tonight they're having a rally for Dr. Oz. All right. And now you've got Mitch McConnell. Now listen to this one. Mitch McConnell is going to fork out money now to help Mastriano and to help Dr. Oz. The Republicans are doing everything they can to try to get back into the good graces. They won't give us $2,000 a month. They think everything that the Democrats do causes problems. Well, the Republicans cause problems too. I'm not on the left. I'm not on the right. I'm in the center. How's that sound? Okay. I give my opinion and I'm in the center. I am not right or left. Okay. That's the way I see it tonight, everybody. It's been great being here as usual. We're here every Monday night, 7 p.m. right here live on YouTube and Facebook. Tonight we're in Studio B at 808 Studios. I have some stuff I'm doing in Studio A, and that's why we're not there tonight. But I thank you for being here tonight. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel with all my archive versions of The Way I See It Sports Corner. And we're coming soon, talking wrestling. Don't forget tomorrow night, 8 p.m., right here live on YouTube and Facebook, my guest, Tad Mari, who is the color commentator for Duquesne Dukes football and basketball. He is the color guy along with play-by-play guy Alex Penarmius. We're going to hear from Tad tomorrow in regards to tomorrow night about Duquesne sports. So it's going to be an interesting conversation. Steeler Cuts, they make their 53-man roster tomorrow. And I got some news about the Pirates that you're going to really be interested in hearing, because I'm getting tired of people criticizing me for saying that the Pirates deserve what they got from Dennis Eckersley, and they did. But I'm going to give you something, a statistic that's very interesting that you're going to know, and you're going to know why. And of course, I'm going to say, really, okay? The Pirates have the worst attendance in baseball. They're at the bottom. And everybody's going, why? Where have you been? That's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow as well, and a whole lot more. All coming up tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Sports Corner. Don't forget Wednesday night, 10:30, the Sports Web on live here on YouTube with Peter Blake, Mark Mancini, myself, Turnbuckle Talk. We'll be talking about professional wrestling. And don't forget this Thursday night, I will not be on because I'm going to be at the Backyard Brawl. I will not be on for Wrestle Talk. It's been moved to Friday morning, 11 a.m., Blog Talk Radio, 347-205-9631. I am Ralph Williams. This is The Way I See It. Thank you for being here tonight. I will talk with you next week, and have yourself a great one. Thank you.